them now.
Oh, yes. 1 second. Is that better? Can you guys see us now? I had a feeling y'all could hear us, but there was no sound or there was no video.
No
so
picture.
Should be good to go. I'm going to move my chat box over so I can see.
Yes, that chat box needs to be a little different here. Okay. All right, guys, really quick. Do you see us and can you hear us? We want to make that very clear. Thank you, hon. Bring that chat bar over here where I can see. No video on stream. Let's make sure everybody can see us really quick. What's up, you guys?
All right, so
okay.
There it is. Good to go.
Okay.
Looks good. Thank you guys so much.
Okay. All right. You guys can hear us and see us. Let everybody kind of get tuned. What's up, Bam Bam? Let everybody get tuned in and chimed in. Sorry, guys. When I read, I can't talk at the same time. If you don't know, I'm very dyslexic. It's lucky that I have Steph with me all the time. She reads everything for me. You ought to see us going down the road on the bike. She's saying stop. I still haven't got the stop sign figured out. Getting close, though. Yield, merge. I just always do whatever. Okay.
He's trying.
I'm trying. I'm getting up there to about a grade, kindergarten, maybe second grade reading now. So we're gaining thanks to social media. It does something. It's really funny. My phone, it does spell check, of course. Whenever I spell something, it says, what the? It don't even know what I'm saying. All right, guys, really quick. If you don't know who we are, well, you're watching The Ornery One on YouTube. We have all the social media platforms where you can go find us. And what you are going to find is Steph and I's live together doing our motorcycle things that we love so much, because really, at the end of the day, motorcycles have saved us in so many ways. I am TJ Thompson. This is Stephanie Thompson. I am The Ornery One, and she is The Ornery Squaw. I want to get you a little bit more in picture, Mama. I'll see you a little better. There you go. We're getting everything lined in here on YouTube. Steph is doing some layout overlays. We've changed some stuff up here with chat bar. Last week you've seen us go a little different. The beginning of this, you've seen a little bit of a difference. So the progression of The Ornery One is constant, and we're loving it. So be patient with us, you guys. And if you don't know, we do go live every Friday night, about 7 o'clock, depending on where we are in the United States. So it may be a different time zone. So wherever we're at, that's when we go live. And if you guys don't know, you can be a member. If you do see people over here in the chat box with stickers with beards on them, they're a member. And if their beard is longer, they've been a member longer because their beard grows. So just going to kind of get everybody cued in, what's going on, what you're seeing, and who you're watching. And this episode is basically the pre-kickoff to the Big Boar build series on YouTube. And if you don't know what that is, guys, it's a bike that Steph and I are going to be able to build thanks to all of our great sponsors and the relationships that we have built over the years from traveling, like I said, coast to coast, border to border, going to all these great rallies, meeting all these amazing people with great products. So on this channel, you're going to see us talk a lot about just traveling, where we go, where we're going to end up. For example, in 3 weeks from today, Steph and I kick off from here for a kickoff run down to New Orleans for Mardi Gras for a couple days, make our way down 90 to Daytona for Daytona Bike Week. So that is the first thing. Like I said, in 3 weeks, Steph and I will be doing that. You guys can follow along. It's going to be a lot of fun. We'll be making our content. We'll be making our videos. Like if you scroll down, you can see our videos now of the Great Escape, where we did about how many days?
Oh,
Jesus,
I think it was like 47. It was just shy of 50, which was our goal. Yeah, I want to say 47, and unfortunately, I just have not finished those videos either. I did get us to the point where we were in Silverado, California for the Born Free Rally, so that video is the latest one of the Great Escape.
So yeah, it was about 12,000 miles, and we made a big old loop around. You guys can go see that. You can go see all of our adventures on YouTube. You can scroll down our social media platforms and see all of our posts. I'm trying to get all this information in here really quick because I'm fixing to just relax. But at first, we got a little business to do. And we want to thank all of our fine sponsors, guys. This is how we do it, and this is how we bring products to our members. If you don't know, we do a member giveaway every month where we give away something from our sponsors or us. Really quick, if you'll look down in your lower corner there, you're going to see the sponsors popping up right here. And that is across the board everything that we have on our bike. First of all, we have Pig Trail Harley-Davidson that we're going to be doing the Big Boar build at. So all of our filming is going to be there at Pig Trail Harley-Davidson. We're going to have the whole crew there involved. Next thing, we'll be pimping that whole bike out with custom dynamic lighting. You guys know we run that lighting. You can be seen and seen with those lights. Love them to death. Full lifetime warranty. Really quick on that. Rainwater, Holt, and Saxton. It's a group here that are all about the community, and they support us riders, and they're there if something does, heaven forbid, happen. So great lawyer outfit. We support them. They support us, and we thank you guys so much. We go down to Legend Suspension. Absolutely love our Legend Suspension. We just gave away a set for Christmas. The Atnips actually got them, so no doubt about it, we have a legendary ride on our bike due to Legend Suspension. We'll be putting those on our new ride, the Big Boar 2. Then we'll go into Chrome Works. Holy shit, we put the exhaust on. If you haven't seen that video, go look at those videos about what we're talking about when we come to Chrome Works. The 2-in-1 Predator, amazing. Thank you, Chrome Works. You're going to see more about them. We'll move on down to Mustang Seats. Holy shit, that was a game changer. If you don't know, we run that Mustang seat. It's the Super Tour Deluxe, I believe I said it right. Love that seat. We're going to be having them on here in a live feed in a couple of weeks talking about their seats and where all they're going to be. We're shielded by Memphis Shades. You guys see we run a 6.5-inch spoiler windshield and their handguards, which we absolutely love them. They're amazing people to be working with. And then those sweet-ass bars we got, fully adjustable spearheads on our bike by the Vanguard Collection by KST Customs. That's the bar you want to be looking at if you're talking about bars, in my opinion. Then with Rick Rack, we go strapless. We run that Rick Rack bag on the back, plus their GoPro mounts. Super cool. You guys are looking for that kind of stuff, go check them out. Then we move on down to the Fairing Exchange. If you don't know, it gives a really badass regal look when you got that inner fairing the same color as your bike. We did this year, and it totally changed my appearance as we ride. Super up on that. And then we are insured by Baxter Insurance. Thank you so much over there, guys. You're doing your thing and helping us do it. Support to Up, which is Stephanie's plateau. It's her platform to be talking about supporting all of us. Whoever rides, whoever's riding, but it gives you a voice as a rider. You can go check that out as well. Elements of the Oso, which is Stephanie's, that she does some really cool jewelry.
And all my profits from that go straight here.
That's right.
To the Ornery one. So I'm a proud supporter of the Ornery one.
So you can go check out Elements of the Oso on Etsy. She's got an Etsy store there. You can see what this girl went up to, or what art is up to, and what she is doing, and the reason why she started it, because of her brain tumor and all that. Big story behind that. And of course, Hillbilly Beards. If you want to get a big old throbbing beard like mine, go check out Hillbilly Beards. We got some great.
Something else.
I know, you never know where I'm going to go. Get a little ornery. So, really quick, really fun. I wanted to run down because all those people and all you ornery asses over there that are hanging out with us tonight are the reason why the ornery one is where we are today. We have a big year coming out, and it is the year of the boar. And this is going to be a bad beast of a bike. It will be built the biggest and baddest. We'll be staying in warranty parameters, of course, because we feel safe that way. So everything that we do on this bike, we are going to be pushing it, doing the very best, biggest thing to the bike we can do. Which, with that being said, you want to catch up on any chats that are in the chat bar, Mama?
Not really. I mean, I'm kind of keeping up with them while I'm editing some other things, but
Jeremy, thank you so much for that super chat, super sticker. $10. Thanks, man. I don't know which one that one is. I appreciate that so much, guys. It means a lot to us. Super chat. He just didn't want to say anything.
Yeah.
Cool, man. All right.
Let's see. So Chad and Brandy Atnip hashtag Big Boar Build. Thank you so
Boom.
much. So this is something that we're pretty excited about. So this is going to be, you guys have seen on our emails and stuff like that. This is just our take on what we feel like should come on a new bike, and that makes our ride comfortable, makes our ride safer, especially when it comes to LED lights. So it's just our take on all kinds of different things. So
yeah, so this is for us is going to be the premiere of all. I mean, this thing is going to be top shelf. We have ran for over 3 years here. I need to tally up how many miles Steph and I have run. We had a twin cam years ago. We got it stolen in Daytona, which you can go down here on our library here and see. We went live in Daytona when we had our twin cam stolen. We got back home and got us a Road Glide Special, 2019 Road Glide Special with a Stage 2 done to it. And then from there, we've added all these fine accessories and mods to it from our great sponsors here. And we've pretty much vlogged all that experience on all of our products. You can go down through there and look. There has been products that we have ran in the past. If you don't see me running them or talking about them, it is for a reason. We support what we support for a reason. So as we've moved on here, it's just that time of the ride on this bike to be moving on upward. Steph and I have grown as a riding couple. We're riding more and more, harder, faster, and heavier, and we want to experience something new. And we've never truly got to pick out anything new. We have the Road Glide Special now that when our bike was stolen, we had to replace our bike, and it was a bike sitting there, so we just, of course, took that bike because we didn't get back on the road. The first thing we've ever owned new, this is the first thing we've ever owned new that we're actually shopping for, and we're picky, and we're going over everything because we just don't know everything. So on this video that you're watching now, this live stream, we're going to be going over, I got a list here, guys. We're going to be talking bikes. We're going to be talking about Grand American Touring Bikes 2022, of course, from Harley-Davidson. In my opinion, the only bike to be riding. I grew up dreaming of riding a Harley-Davidson. I didn't dream of anything else. My dreams are coming true. Feel very lucky, and I'm hungry and I want more. So what we're going to be going over tonight here in a minute, I'll be bringing our buddy Casey that works over at Pig Trail Harley-Davidson. He was on last Friday night, and we just had a ball just being us talking bikes. That's what we're going to do tonight, but what we're going to break it down into is we're going to be talking about the CVO Road Glide Limited. Number 2, the CVO Road Glide. Number 3, the Road Glide ST. What's that all about? Number 4, Road Glide Special, which we know and we love. And then number 5 will be Road Glide Limited. What that entails and the difference, what would fit Steph and I's riding style and what we want out of a bike. We'll also be talking about normal bags, the extended bags. We'll be talking about fairings, lower fairings or no fairing at all like we run, and what that will do for us. Then we're going to be talking and touching a little bit on warranty, because that is something that plays pretty heavy in Steph and I's book, because you guys know that we're out there on the road across the country in the middle of nowhere. Fine example, we were in Wyoming this year, in Hot Springs, Wyoming. Guys, that's out in the middle of nowhere. Dirt roads, 2 bars, carry a pistol, and have a shootout in the street kind of place. We got a screw in the tire, went flat, and we had nowhere to go. We didn't know what to do. It's just a prime example. You can even break that down into warranty, which I did not know until we started talking about this. Yes, you can warranty your rims and tires. Fine example there. So, like I said, warranty plays a big part on us. I've had a lot of people, when we release this, we're talking about the Big Boar, they were like, do a 131 S&S, like all this crazy shit. I'll just be honest, guys, we're not going to do that because we can't keep warranty on that. So that is not going to be part of this build. But what we are going to do is what we're going to talk about right now.
yes.
So,
Mike Myers, thank you so much for your super chat there. I appreciate that.
what's up, Mike?
Here, buddy.
Oh, yeah.
If you guys are good, we will go ahead and bring on Casey if
I
you're
think
ready.
Casey's ready to rip.
Okay, you guys bear with me because I'm not like
Boom.
super fast at all of this stuff, but I'm going to go ahead and get him to
Unmute his butt.
unmute.
Bring his face up.
What up?
Hey, what's up, buddy?
Let's see here.
How you doing, man?
Can you hear us and see us, Casey?
I can hear and see you guys. Can everybody hear and see me?
Yes. I've got the sidebar pulled up right here for the chat because you won't be able to see it for the next couple of minutes.
Okay,
but yeah.
So if everybody can see Casey and hear Casey, would just give us a thumbs up and say, uh-huh. Let us know because we want to make sure because we're going to get into some stuff here. Casey knows his bikes. Of course, he's over there selling them every day at Pig Trail Harley-Davidson. And
I don't know shit, dude.
Yeah,
I don't know
that
shit,
is
dude.
the safest way. Well, I can tell you this, Casey, you know more than we do. And we had been talking a little bit about bikes, and I got a lot of questions because I don't know, man. I ride motorcycles. I'm not a mechanic, and I ride what I have, and I learn what I have at the moment. From there on out, I don't know. I just learned the bike that I have.
Man, that's the crazy part. I really didn't know anything about bikes. I mean, I knew about Harleys a little bit, but when I started working there, the history, I mean, it's, you know, the company's like 120 years old. You know, I mean, there's a lot of history, a lot of different bikes, and sometimes it's confusing and overwhelming just to see so many bikes. So, yeah, man, I'd love to chat and just kind of help you, you know, really see the differences and just find what bike's going to be best for you, what's going to fit you and Steph's needs, man.
Yeah, man, and that's what we're going to kind of talk about. Like I said, I ran it over with everybody here tonight, and you heard it as well. A lot of questions that Steph and I have, we haven't decided yet. I mean, we're talking about a possibility of 5 different bikes here that would work for us. We could do what we do. You know, we run that Road Glide special. So, once again, 5 different bikes. Of course, there's a different price points there, and they offer different rideability. I'm going to say rideability. Makes sense.
Yeah.
It's a word.
It's a word now. So, Casey, this is what I did. I just went on to Harley-Davidson, and I screenshotted and then brought it down, and I've just got a picture of the bike that we're talking about when we talk about this bike here in a second. And Steph will bring that picture up for everybody that's watching to see. I have it listed here. We'll just kind of touch on them. Guys, we probably won't go really into colors. There's a lot of colors out there in some, and some there's not. But we're just going to touch on the bike itself. Sound good, Casey?
Yeah, man. What's the first one on your list, bro?
So the first one that Steph's going to bring up is a CVO Road Glide Limited. Damn, right? Okay, so...
Don't wait on me because I'm slow, so you guys go on.
All right, so this bike, you know, is kind of like the cream of the crop, I would say. I mean...
That's the bee's knees, man.
And I just wanted to start out with it. We probably won't go over so much price points, guys. Y'all can go look that up, and if y'all do have any questions or would like to talk about these bikes, you're more than welcome to reach out to Pig Trail Harley-Davidson or maybe your local dealer. We suggest Pig Trail Harley-Davidson, of course. So what's your thoughts on a CVO Road Glide Limited, sir?
Man, the CVO is going to be your creme de la creme. I mean, that's going to have all the RDRS options, so the rain mode, the ride modes. I mean, here's the big thing with a CVO is they're super limited, so there's not going to be a whole bunch of them out there. You're not going to pull up in a parking lot. It's not like a black Road Glide. You know, you're a Sturgis and there's 100 black Road Glides. I mean, it's going to be a lot more limited. I think this year they did a really good job on the colors. I mean, you got Dante's Red Fade, which is kind of this, it's black and then it kind of fades down to red. I like that a lot. The highlight yellow pearl, that's kind of a real nice two-tone color, and then they got an orange one. So there's 3 colors, and that's a wicked orange pearl. I like those a lot, but the CVO is really going to pop. It's going to have real different, like the floorboards, the grips, those are always a collection. So it's going to have Kahuna collection, standard top-of-the-line audio, so it's going to have Rockford Fosgate from the factory. So CVO, it stands for Custom Vehicle Operations. Everything is... I put it as the Bentley of motorcycles. It is the nicest, cleanest, just most amazing bike off the showroom, and it's got so many more options. So instead of having to spend a bunch of money customizing your floorboards and your grips and your stereo and your wheels, and it's just from the factory, it's got the coolest shit you could put on a bike from Harley, you know. So CVO Road Glide Limited, the 22 comes in the 3 colors. That's just going to be your creme de la creme, man. That's the top. That's the top of the line.
So let me ask you, man. I've seen this too. I got a buddy that has one. So the locking on the tour pack and the saddlebags, is that keyless entry on those?
Yeah. So almost like a car, you've got a key fob. You can lock and unlock the bag. So pretty sick. I mean, you're up in the hotel. Hey, I forgot whatever down there in the bike. You can just unlock it. Steph can run down. You probably forgot, I don't know, your Jameson, whatever you got in the saddlebag. You know, maybe she needs to run down and go get it or whatever. But yeah, you can.
Like that.
I like his
What's
option.
I said sleeping pills or something, you know. This is what I liked about those. I've seen that because Steph and I are always going back and forth locking our bags, and it's 2 of us. So she's got to carry her keys, and sometimes she forgets to carry her keys. That would be really handy. I mean, that's the thing that I noticed about the CVOs that my buddy has one. I was like, damn, that's the thing that I like. I mean, that's what, and I know exactly what you're saying. We see those out there, but there again, price point, of course, will be at the top end of the bikes. May not fit everybody's, but to just get a bike off the showroom floor that'll be different, that would be it, no doubt. What engine does that come in?
Those come in a 117.
Okay.
Yep. So they come in the biggest motor available from the factory. Of course, they do the 128s and the 131s. That would be a 131 if you put the Stage 4 kit on it.
Okay.
But from the factory on a bike, that's the biggest motor you can get off the showroom.
Okay. So that's a little glimpse of that. Steph and I like that bike, but I'll be honest with you, man, it's probably a little, the price point's a little too high for us, more than likely. And one other thing we don't like is the bags. We like the stretch extended bags on the bike. I wish they would
a lot of people wonder why they don't come with stretch bags. The limiteds don't in general, but especially, you know, I think last year the Road Glides CVO didn't have stretch bags either. A lot of people were like, what's up with that? You know, and I don't know if it's kind of a performance thing.
Yeah.
You know, you're not as likely to scrape a bag in a corner. So yeah, that may be a big part of it too. But
with that being said, the limiteds, you were telling me the other day, the front tires a little different size, say, than a special, and they set a little higher. We kind of got into that a little bit.
Correct. And that's going to be whether you do a CVO limited versus a regular limited versus a special. So anything that's a limited, whether it be a regular Road Glide limited or a CVO limited versus a special or just a Road Glide or any of that. So anything that's limited has about 2 inches taller suspension. And really that's to compensate. I look at it as like a 4-wheel drive truck. The back end always sits a little high unless you do the level kit. But reason being, when you put a trailer on it, it's going to sag that back end. So on a touring bike like that, you know, your rear suspension is taller so that when you get the tour pack loaded up and you get the wife on the back, you get the bags loaded, now you're making the truck squat, right? Yep. So just like putting a trailer on the truck. And then a big part of it too, like you were saying about the tires, it's the sidewall of the tires. So if you think about like a Cadillac versus a Corvette, you know, they may have similar motors, similar stuff in them, but like, you know, an SUV, the sidewall of the tires is way bigger, and that gives it a little bit cushier ride, a little bit smoother ride. And then like on the specials and the other bikes, the tire diameter, from the wheel to the edge of the tire is way smaller. So you feel a little more of the road. It's a little more responsive, but maybe not as comfy. And that's just something that, you know, you just may notice. But I mean, it's not really going to make or break the ride, I don't think. But it's just going to be, you know, Corvette or Cadillac.
Yeah, now I've noticed that too. You know, you get used to anything you ride. I do. And of course, when you jump on one to the other, that's when you notice it. But there again, Steph and I have rode this special for many miles, and I'm sure I would notice a difference right off the bat. With saying that, we'll move on to the next bike that we have on the list, and that is just the CVO Road Glide. Steph will bring a picture up of that. So basically, it's everything that we talked about there. It's not a limited. So when we talk about a limited, the biggest thing that we see is the lowers, in which we're going to get into that a little bit more. And what I mean by that is the lower fairing. You guys see A lot of people call the crash bars that come out. So you have a lower fairing there that does a lot for you. It has vents in it, and some put speakers. And so, Casey, tell us a little bit about just the CVO Road Glide.
Yeah, so CVO Road Glide's pretty similar, 3 colors. So you got blue steel, you got envious green fade, which is kind of cool. And that's actually got flames, man, repping that 93, the year I was born. Flames were hot in 93, baby, I tell you what. And then you got that. What's that?
You got any tattoos of flames?
No, man. Nope, not yet.
Dude,
I thought about,
I got flames across my chest. Nobody sees because of my beard.
Do you really?
Yeah.
That's sick, man. My favorite, one of my favorite bands all time is Linkin Park, and Chester. Man, he had flames kind of down his wrist. I always thought about getting that just as a tribute to Chester. I always loved Linkin Park. They were probably my favorite band growing up.
Exactly what you're talking about. Okay, back to here we go. We're gonna get off. Back to the CVO Road Glide.
So you got the 3 colors. Now the CVO Road Glide does feature their laced wheel, which is real similar to the Pan America. So if you look at the wheel, it's like the coolest wheel ever, in my opinion. But it's like a mag, and then there's spokes. But basically, it's tubeless spokes. So you don't have to put a tube in when you change the tire. You don't have to put. And I think on the picture there, you can see it if you look real close. That front wheel is just sick, dude. I absolutely love that. That orange paint is probably my favorite paint scheme this year. I think the CVOs, honestly, man, they've been a little lackluster in the color department. Maybe just some solid color. To me, a CVO is supposed to be like that. It's supposed to pop. It's supposed to boom. It's supposed to really have some color. So that orange is probably my favorite for sure. But yeah, and you'll notice, looking at a CVO Road Glide versus CVO Limited, the intakes are different. The wheels are different. The windshield's a little different. And of course, I think you would want to be interested in adding a tour pack. And as you said, this bike does not have the lower fairings. So that would be like from your knees down your ankles in front of your knees there. Whereas the Limited does. And I'm sure at some point we'll talk a little bit more about the Limited, the fairings, what they do. So yeah. I don't know if you want to get to that yet or if you want to wait on that.
I guess we'll just save that a little bit because I've got a layout in my head. But we'll at the end here, we will touch a little bit more on, I've got it wrote down here on the stretch bags, which we kind of talked about there, extended bags, and the lower fairings. We'll kind of go into that as well. Now, with saying that, though, with the lowers, though, so for the Road Glide Limited up there, that would be water-cooled, what we would say, right?
Yep. Liquid cooled just the heads, so people get confused on that. Yeah.
So that is a big thing there, too, that we probably need to talk about when you see those. If people don't understand that, there was some time in my life I didn't understand that. I remember when I first went on a road trip across the country, first time I really got out of Arkansas much, I'd hear these bikes with these lowers with fans going and shit. And I'm like, what the hell is this? I did not know what was going on. So I just learned this stuff a few years ago. So that's why we're kind of going into this. Okay, Casey, we're going to roll on to this one. Road Glide ST. What
All right,
the
bro.
hell is this?
So this is going to be, I don't know what you'd classify it as. I'd classify it as like almost a new CVO or like a CVO for the young guys. I think it's not CVO money, but it's CVO cool in my opinion. Kind of the same deal. So basically what the STs have done is they've made for 2022, man, this gets me real excited because this is the stuff that I love, man. So they took the ST model and basically they took a Lowrider S and they said, all right, the Lowrider S is the performance flagship model from Harley. And it has been for a long time. So they took it and they said, well, how can we expand the Lowrider S family? Harley has a pretty cool video about it they just did with their release stuff. But an ST is like if you took a Lowrider S and you made it into a Road Glide. So it's got the same font. It's got that bronze, like the bronze Prodigy wheels. Mm-hmm. It's got the bronze, heads and the bronze look to it. And then it comes with a 117 motor. Okay. So that's really what makes that, pretty cool is it's going to be, Harley's idea was a performance bagger straight off the showroom floor. So the biggest motor available, some really cool looks and just to make it, their performance bagger right off the showroom.
Which that is getting bigger and bigger. Of course, we've all been watching that performance baggers, the races, everybody's getting more heavily handed into that, which I absolutely love to death because we talked about this last week. A lot of people used to call these bike like a geezer glide, the old person's bike. And I thought the same because I love choppers. You guys know this. Maxwell House love it to death. Love the choppers. And when I got on these and started riding them, I was like, holy shit, these damn things are run. We'll move on from the ST and then we'll go to the Road Glide Special, which we totally know all about the Road Glide Special, but let's touch base on it.
So, the Road Glide Special is probably going to be your most, I don't know, I guess, popular bike on the market. That's probably, when someone thinks of a Road Glide, that's probably what they're thinking of. Comes in a various array of colors this year, but essentially you've got all the colors and it's just black or chrome. I don't want to bore everybody and just sit here and like name off all the colors.
No.
They're out there if you want to see them, but I will say the colors that really jumped out to me this year, there's three colors that I really like was the Reef blue,
yep.
The red line red, and the Gunship gray. And I know you guys, previously had a gray bike, so maybe we'll have to look at some different options and colors and stuff. But they really, the Gunship gray was previously a CVO color, and so we actually have a pre-owned CVO Gunship gray Road Glide right now, and it was kind of funny because we were all thinking like, man, surely like that's going to be a different shade of gray or something. It can't be it's a CVO color. It can't be the same gray. Man, I tell you what, it rolled up. It's the same Gunship gray. So that was kind of crazy for us because, man, now you can go buy a special and put some cool shit on it. Now you pretty much got a CVO. So it's kind of crazy what they've done with the specials. But no lowers. And like we were saying before, those do have the stretch bags, and they do have some of the different, stuff like that. So, no lowers and stretch bags.
So stretch bags, no lowers, and no tour pack. We had to add a tour pack. What I do like about the specials, though, they've always got some kick-ass rims on them. I think the rims on the Road Glide specials are just cool. I love blacked out stuff. Of course, that's what we got on ours, and then we added a tour pack and added all of our stuff. So, absolutely love the Road Glide special. I'll be honest with you, I don't think we're going to go with the Road Glide Special again, but don't know. We're going to be looking into that. And then that leads us to the 2022 Road Glide Limited. So, the Limited, we talk about the CVO Limited at the very beginning. We saved this to last. The difference in the two, they just don't have, they're super badass. A little bit of difference between it that I don't like in the Road Glide Special is that it does not have the extended bags. I wish it did. And then I do like the T-bar or the lights that come down lower on the fender on the Road Glide Special, which the Limited does not. They have that finishes out the rear fender. And then I would like to have some Road Glide Special rims on it because I like those rims. But the Limited does come with lowers, which it has water-cooled heads. And then it comes with a tour pack. And then that'll give us some different options as far as like speakers back there behind her, which we get into a little bit. But it, like you said, it has the same variable bones as the CVO, but it's just not so pimped out, correct?
Yeah, so, and that's really the thing with the Limiteds, man. Like, I honestly, that's like the geezer glidest bike ever made, bro. Like, that's straight grandpa. But if you would have said like maybe 2 or 3 years ago, oh man, a Limited's going to be like your favorite bike, like you won't believe it, I would have been like, yeah, right, bro. Seriously, in the past maybe 2-3 years, they have done so much to a Limited, dude. You can get one blacked out. They used to have this really ugly like fender light on the front fender, which was safe and it was cool, but all that chrome trim around the fender, like man, that was like the most grandpa bike ever, bro. Like, and they've done a great job just like trimming it down. So now you can get one totally blacked out. And like the one you got pulled up on the screen, bro, that's not a grandpa bike. I would ride that all day. I mean, I'm not even 30 yet, and I would ride that all day. I think that bike is sick. So, and that's really the cool part. I mean, if you're talking about a Big Boar, and putting some performance stuff on it, you don't have to, everybody thinks like you kind of have to sacrifice one for the other. And I think it's really rad that Harley's making it where you can get, you know, a bike that's going to be built, you know, 131s and 128s. You could do all that, you know. And so here's the thing, and we were kind of touching on it earlier with the warranties and stuff. TJ, no matter which bike you get, you know, I think if we were to do a cool build on it, it's going to be covered under warranty. So if you ever decided to do a 131, or if you think about, you know, putting something crazy on it, you're not going to be out of a warranty if you pull up at a dealership. I mean, it used to be back in the day, bro. You had aftermarket cam, you had any S&S, you had any of this or that, and I mean, you're kind of SOL, man. Sorry for you. You know, you've really messed that up. So Screaming Eagle 131 from the factory, as long as it's installed at the dealership, you can roll up to any Harley-Davidson dealership and your motor is under warranty. Okay. Something else that's crazy about that. Oh, go ahead.
So real quick, Casey. So it's no secret, you know, we're going to do this build, the Big Boar. And it's called the Big Boar for a damn reason. And I'm going to do a 131. I've heard, I mean, I'm going to do it. I've heard a lot of people come to us say, oh man, you know, you don't want to do that. And then I've heard people, well, you want to do something like the S&S or do something where you're out of warranty. We don't want to do that either. So basically, I want to go the biggest, baddest that we can under warranty. And you know, man, we're going to be running hard, fast, and heavy. We're going to push that thing to the limit. And as far as cold weather and as far as heat, and especially heat, you know, we're out there. We've had a little issues with the M8 in, you know, earlier. We got everything kind of lined out now, thanks to you guys, and we did a little. I got a lot of questions about this. We're having some problems. We changed to Chromeworks exhaust, which helped us a lot with the problems that we were having with that. But what we were running into, we're running in temperatures 120 degrees. I mean, we're running hot, and I'm running hard and heavy, like I said. And it's a machine to us. This is not a baby. This isn't something that we're super picky about. Of course, we care for it. We love it. We want to take care of it. But at the end of the day, it's a machine. It has a job to do, and that's what it's going to do. So when it came to the 131, we had been talking earlier in the week. I wanted to know, how do I go about making sure that 131 is under warranty? You guys explained to me that it is this not, if I'm not right, you correct me, Screaming Eagle 131 warranty, basically, that we buy with that engine.
Yep. So let me give you a quick rundown just to make it a little easy. So let's say you buy a bike and a year later you do a 131. The parts are covered, right, for the motor,
okay,
from the warranty. But if you buy the bike and do the 131 within, I believe it's 90 days. I have to double check, but I believe it's 90 within 90 days. You do the 131, then that motor, and it has to be done at the dealership, obviously, or at a certified dealership. That motor carries with the warranty from the bike. So if you have a 2-year warranty with your bike, your motor's covered for 2 years. Now, if you do an extended warranty and you do the motor build in the beginning, now the motor's covered for as long as your extended warranty. So that's really how you can carry your warranty. You know, a lot of people are thinking, well, I'll just do it later. I'll do it down the road, whatever. If you do a bike and a motor right at the same time, work it in the deal. You know, however we got to do it. We do it all the time. We do motor builds in the deal.
Yes.
But work it all in. You can finance it. We got all kinds of options for that. I don't want to go too deep into boring people. But you do the bike, you do the motor, and whatever warranty you get. So if you just get factory warranty, it's 2 years. But if you extend it, I think you do all the way to like 10 years. Your motor's covered with the bike. So you can roll it in, say, here you go, something's up. And they're going to fix it at any certified Harley-Davidson dealership under warranty. Bam, easy. So you got a big-ass motor, big-ass build, power for days, and it's going to be covered. Now, real quick, you were talking about heat. That's probably a real good time to talk about lowers. Steph, you've got that picture pulled up still? Limited. Let's keep that.
Do you want that one? I have some lowers. I have a picture of.
Oh, do you have some?
Yes. Let's find that picture real quick. Okay, that's the front of the bike with lowers on. If you're just looking at the front of the bike, you can see there underneath the fairing, you can see the lowers.
Yeah, so let's talk about lowers real quick since you got a picture pulled up.
Okay.
So here's the thing with lowers. First of all, they actually do a lot more for wind than you would think. So you got a Road Glide, you got this big fairing in the front covering your chest. What happens is your knees will hit the wind, and you're kind of doing this in the you're doing the I don't know. I'll make it dirty. I'll think of a funny dirty joke later, but
It
yeah,
wears
you're
it wears your inner thighs out. You will be
yeah,
wore
it,
out.
it really does.
Yes, it does.
That wind will tear you up. So that really gets the wind around your knees, really gets it around your feet. It keeps you from doing the spread eagle and just being all out there for everybody. So the fairing or the lower fairings do have a vent. It's hotter than hell outside. There's a little switch on the inside, and you can open a vent to get some wind through. So you're not going to be totally scorched in the summer. So there's a closable vent. And then let's talk about liquid cooled heads, because you had said that you had some problems with heat. So a lot of people got really confused when Harley started doing this, because they're a lot of Harley people, man, they're like anti-liquid cooled. It's got to be air cooled, which I get it. It's what gives it sound, makes it rad. But what they did was the bike is air cooled, so it's your standard Harley-Davidson air cooled V-twin motor is going to give it that badass sound. But you have a secondary auxiliary cooling system, which is in the lowers. There's fans and radiator fluid, and what that does is it cools just the heads, just the exhaust port, and your motor, they say, can run up to 30 degrees cooler. And so especially if you're sitting at a stoplight or something,
Yes.
or you're in heat, you're in a parade,
Yes.
you're doing a lot of that, it's going to make the bike run way, way, way cooler. So now you could add lowers to a Road Glide special,
Right.
but it's not going to have all the liquid cooled features. So it's simply at that point going to be more of a wind thing. I'm sure you could probably add all the liquid cool stuff, but it'd be more pain than it's worth. So if we were to price out, like, here's a Road Glide special, and you're going to add a tour pack and lowers and all this stuff. Well, first of all, your tour pack's not going to have speakers in the rear for Steph. The lowers aren't going to have liquid cooled features in them to make the bike run cooler. So, but like you were saying, man, the stretch bags are really cool on the special. The wheels are pretty cool on the special. So there's kind of some things probably for you guys to weigh out and see which bike's going to,
and man,
work for you.
Then,
but
it's really, I guess, about performance for us, but it's got to be at a price point as well. So, I mean, I'll just be honest. I would absolutely love, and I think that Steph and I both deserve CVO Road Glide. I'll just be honest. I do.
I want the top of the top.
I do. I want the crib of the crib. But, we're talking about a lot of money. And then we get down to the Road Glide special, which we have right now. And you can see that we kind of morphed our Road Glide special into a half-C over the years. We started out doing more and more miles. We actually love the way a special. I love that ST. I'm gonna tell you, if it's just me and Steph, we're just running around here local or doing some runs, say here to Sturgis and back and stuff like that, that ST would be it. I'm gonna be honest. So I don't know. I mean, I'll tell you right now, I'm more leaning to the Road Glide Limited. But I did look at the colors, and I believe why they call that a Road Glide Limited is because it's limited on colors. It don't have no colors to pick from, if you ask me. So, you go look at the other models. They have a lot of different colors. They have cool rims. I mean, this is the little things, but honestly, at the end of the day, guys, we're spending our money. We ride everywhere. We love it. And we know what we want. We've got to the point now, we know what we like, we know what we want. Are we going to be able to afford it? That's the thing. And then there are going to be some things we're going to have to give up a little bit here and there.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. And I'm on the same page as like you mentioned earlier, and a lot of people wonder is why the Road Glide Limited doesn't have the stretched bags.
It looks so good.
And yeah, if you guys have ever seen some of our other videos, you've probably heard me talk about it from time to time, because I think that if they're not stretched, it's almost like someone just cut them off and didn't finish the bags from the back end or something. So like, to me, I'm like, I really like the stretched bags.
The one thing I can say that if we didn't have the stretched bags, we don't ride that hard in the corners where I'm rubbing anything. I'll be honest with you, we're not running that hard. There are some people out there that have ran with us. We do run hard, fast, heavy, and we do get into it. But I keep it a little bit. I don't drag anything. I got too much. I got Steph and I both on there. I'm cautious with things. So if the bags were the original, the not extended, it would really show off that Chromeworks exhaust really well.
Yes.
So that's one good thing.
Yeah. And I'm really big about appearance. Like I will pay extra money just to get something that looks better.
Look who you're with. Of course you are.
So that's just my 2 cents of as far as the stretched bags or cut off.
Let's talk about.
I don't know what you guys want to. Not stretched bags. I don't know what they call these.
So
bags.
let's talk about that a little bit. What if you're going to pick a bike? I mean, if you're just going to pick one, not talking about price. If you're going to pick a bike, which one would it be?
I think it would be the Road Glide Special, and then I would add a bunch of stuff to it, even if it ended up costing me more in the long run, because I like the look.
We wouldn't have the water cooled feature.
We'd have to buy both bikes and then put them together.
So she's really good at graphic design and all these layouts and stuff like that. And here we are. We're talking about
maybe the Road Glide Limited and get the stretched bags, but then you go into the whole you have to get them painted. I think because I don't think they come painted if you were to buy them. Is that right, Casey?
Yeah, so you can get stretch bags. I don't know if you could get them paint matched. Like if we were to order basically special bags, like bags for special and a color that was already the limited, we could swap them. So I mean that's definitely something that could happen. I mean on the stretch bags, you're really only looking at the extra room in the back, and it really is more of a look thing than a room. But it does kind of wrap over the the exhaust, and it does kind of match that, that rear fender trim on the specials. So,
but that's,
I know best of both worlds,
And that's the thing, though. We talk about that rear fender on the limited. It's kind of a more of a unfinished look than it is a special. So I don't know if that would look good unless you added something there too. So this is the small things that Steph and I talk about. This is pillow talk.
This is how Harley-Davidson gets you.
This is how they get you to hook you.
You can't change this until, just mentally and physically in my mind.
Okay,
visually.
So Steph, go over here in the chat bar. Do we got anything that anybody had? Good questions? Maybe they're just like, these guys are just total goofballs.
No,
hey, our GM's in the comments. He said, he corrected me. He said installed within 60 days. So if you get the motor or any of the any accessories that are Harley installed within 60 days of a new bike, they're covered under your complete factory warranty. So that's straight from the GM.
So what we're saying here, Casey, is a person could go in and buy their bike. They could take off and ride a trip, come back in a week or two or whatever, and go, hey, you know what? I want to go ahead and do a stage 2. I want to do the stage 3. I want to do 4. Then they can have the option to do that within that time span. And it would be
it's a 60-day window.
60 days.
Yep. Now, after that 60 days, whatever you add is just going to be a 1-year parts warranty.
Okay. So, and this is a way, I believe, this is how Harley gets you to go ahead and do that. It does make sense, though, in a way. Like you said, as far as financing, you can go ahead and get that all wrapped up and done. And then there's some other warranties in there that I did not know about. Actually, Warren back there in parts or in service told me about this. We got joking around sometime back, and he's like, dude, you need to invest in that tire and rim warranty. And I was like, what are you talking about, Warren? And then he went into it, and now we're talking about this.
Man, tire and wheel saved my ass more times than I can count. I seriously, when I had my Street Bob, I spent $350, $400, whatever it was, put a brand new tire. Me and the girl were headed to Branson, and I think about halfway there, I hit a nail. Had to go get a new tire, and I ended up spending like $700-800 on tires in like 2 days. So frustrated, so pissed, just like, and it's not like it's the bike's fault. Nothing broke. I just ran over a nail or whatever, and it just. Man, it sucks. Tire and wheel, $50. Bam, new tire, you're good. So
now with saying that, Casey, You told me the other day how this works. I was like, well, how does it? Is this like endless amount of tires and rims, or is
No, so there, I'm sure that and I don't know how many for sure, but I'm sure after 4 or 5 tires or something, they're going to say, "Hey, man,
it's capped?
especially if it's if you're getting one every like, oops, I got one at 5,000 miles. Oops, I got one. You know what I mean? So they're within reason. I'm sure there's fine print there on the tire and wheel. But also, we talked about maybe you changing the wheels for some bigger wheels. So I'll give a little bit on that warranty. So here's how it works. So let's say you hit a nail and maybe you're running Michelin Commander 3s, but your bike came with the standard Dunlop, and you say, well, obviously I want the nicer, newer tire. They don't just say, well, forget you, man, no warranty for you. You just pay the difference.
Okay.
So if there's the difference between a stock tire and whatever badass new tire you have on it, you just pay whatever the difference is. So that's how that works.
So Casey, let's be honest. Real quick, Gray Wolf, what's up, man? What's he saying?
Thank you so much for this. He said you can add the extended bags and the special fender already painted and matched. So I think he had mentioned earlier that going back to my bag dilemma that I have, he mentioned that he'd actually bought extended bags for his 2017, and he got them painted. So I guess that is an option.
Shit, yeah, he's got a badass bike. That is good to know. Gray Wolf will look into that because this is just one of them questions, and this dude has been around, man. He knows his shit for sure. Thank you for that super chat too, dude, man. Thanks for that 20 spot. So that's it right there. And real quick, we're talking about already modifying the bike, making it our own. We're talking about extending them bags. Now, what we're talking about now is a rim and tire warranty. And a question I had about that really was, how's that work? How's it cap off? Then I'm interested in doing that fatty front tire. Now, some people say no, some people say yeah, but at the end of the day, you can bet your ass I'm going to do just what I want to if I can afford it. So, I would love to have that front fat tire on it. I have been checking on prices. They do get a little expensive. I don't know if that's in our budget. If any of you guys out there know of somebody that has the big front rim and tire, a company or somebody that you would prefer or to, not prefer, but to talk about, refer, thank you, refer us to them. We'd like to look at their rims and tires. And it got it to me asking the question, we get the rim and tire, does that cover that? And basically it's what Casey just said. It covers it to what you had on it at the beginning of the stock. So if that front tire from stock, for example, was $400 at somewhere and your tire was $550, you had to pay the difference. Same as a rim. I don't know what rims cost. I have no idea. Super high, I'm sure. If there's a $1,000 difference in a rim, God heaven, then that's what you'd have to pay the difference of. Of course, if we go to do that, we'll be changing out that front fender as well. But I have seen them out and about that we've been traveling, and that front tire looks amazing on them Road Glides. I've heard they ride good. I heard that they are a little heavier on the front end when you're going slow, which makes sense. Casey, have you had any dealings with the front fat tire?
Yeah, so I don't know if Billy Hudson's on here, but he's a good friend of mine. I sold him a brand new Road Glide standard that he built into a 128, put a fat front tire kit. I believe on his bike we did the Arlen Ness kit, yes. Which is pretty sick. They redo the triple trees because now you're going from here on the tire to here, so we got to redo the triple trees and all that. We did a fat front tire kit on his bike on a 128 build. He's pulling some stupid dyno numbers, but yeah, he let me ride his bike, and man, I'm a big fan of it. First of all, from an aesthetic point, because you got that big wide Road Glide fairing. You get this little skinny tire, it just looks kind of funny. So you got a big Road Glide fairing, and then when you come down, and that a lot of the kits, it's a 180, so it's the same size as the rear, and you have this wide front tire with the fairing, and that really keeps it, to me, symmetrical instead of being this kind of real skinny. So I thought that was really cool. But yeah, he let me ride it, and man, when you get in that corner and you lean it in, it feels like you just have a little more lean to it. I mean, I feel like I could just get it over better. If you think about a lot of sport bikes, the tires are usually the same size, kind of like that as well. So it does make a lot of sense. It seems to ride a lot smoother. Billy seems to really like his a lot. So, I don't know who else does it other than Arlen Ness. That's primarily what we use at the dealership for the wide tire kits, just because they sell it as a kit. It's a lot easier to put on. You could get, matching wheels and stuff through Arlen Ness. But yeah, I mean, it definitely rides great. I think it looks great. And you're doing a big build. If you can have more tire to put in, more traction on the road, that big front tire is going to help a lot. So I definitely recommend them. I think they look awesome, and we've had great luck with them at the dealership. So for sure.
Side. So the next question is, though, like I was saying earlier, that Steph and I got that flat there in Hot Springs, Montana. I actually end up plugging it. You can go watch the video on there. We had it was just a great time to make content and see how it played out. We had a blast, honestly. At the end of the day,
nervous time.
Yeah, but
content.
It was great. We had the sheriffs bring us down. It's just it turned into a great thing. We actually had fun. I ended up plugging the tire, and we made it to a Harley-Davidson dealership where they had one front tire, and we run the All-American Elite by Dunlap. That's what we run.
That's what I run too.
And they only had the 407 stock on the front, which the stock tire we put on there, they only had one. And then my question was, if we did that big front fat tire, is that tire going to be accessible if we're out like that?
Well, so like I said before, the front tires usually on the kit, the fat front tire kit is the same as the rear tire. Typically, you're going to go through a rear tire more often than a front tire. So in that case, if you were to do that kit, the front tire is going to be easier to get a hold of because it's the same fitment as a rear tire. And there's usually a lot more rear tires available than front tires because people burn through rear tires quicker. Oh. So in all reality, it should make tires easier. Now, a rear tire is usually more expensive than a front tire because there's more material. But, all in all, I don't think it should be crazy. But yeah, in my opinion, if I were to do a Road Glide, that's 100% the way to go. Performance and all that aside, unless you just do a weird kit where the tire's like some kind of funky off size, it's usually just the same size as the rear, so it should be even easier to get a tire. So that shouldn't be a problem.
That's something that we'll be over there at Pig Trail. Of course, they postponed the reveal party for tomorrow because of our weather. We've had like 8 inches of snow here till next weekend, which is the what?
The 12th.
The 12th. And in between there and hopefully, or after that next week, we're going to be over there with the Road Glide. And I'm going to be doing a tire review that we had, the rear tire, because that is the same tire we did this Great Escape on. So we left here, y'all changed our tires. We rode all the way down almost to the Keys, all the way back up through here, all the way up to Sturgis for Sturgis Rally. Left there and did a big loop out there on the East Coast and all the way, or West Coast and all the way back down and around. That is the same tire that we have on the rear. So I'm going to come over there. We're going to make a video about how that tire wore and held up. So that's going to be something we're going to talk about. I do have a tire video down here. You can look at our library that we talked about the stock tires that I ran a couple years ago. The stock Dunlap was splitting around on both. I think with the dual compounds. I'm not really sure. I'm no expert, but it was splitting like you took a razor blade all the way around that. It did it on 2 tires. And then we had one buddy that his tire was in there and it was doing the same thing. And as we released the video over the past year or so, we've had a lot of people saying they've had the same experience with that tire. Reached out to Dunlap. Of course, they didn't have much to say to us, but they did cover our tire. We moved to the Elite now, and that's what we run. We have no problem with that tire. We absolutely love it. Still curious of what was going on with the stock one. So I wanted to do this kind of a touch-up video of how this tire ran. You guys can stay tuned. We'll be doing that as well. And I'm excited because that's one thing that we all talk about. We spend a ton of money on is tires. So,
man, the biggest thing on tires, real quick, is check that pressure, bro. I can't tell you how many tires come in the dealership. And, one thing that's really cool that I forgot to mention, on all these new bikes, if they have the new RDRS system, which stands for Reflex Defensive Rider System, is going to be a traction control, a cornering ABS. If you go in and type in RDRS on YouTube, there's some really cool videos about it. But it also includes a TPMS system in the bike. So you could see it on the screen, the big screen, or on the mileage screen. There's 2 ways to see it. but you could see the tire pressure from the motorcycle, and that is awesome. No more getting down on your knees. No more trying to, I know you like getting down on your knees, TJ, but
Hey man, time ain't no big bucks. But at the end of the day, you know this, Casey. I don't give a shit who you are. You don't get down there and check the tire pressure when it's 8 degrees outside and you're in North Dakota taking out of there. You're going to get on that damn bike and try to get somewhere warm. So,
yep. And it'll tell you, it'll pop up and say low tire pressure. Would you like to find the nearest gas station? Just like it does with gas, with fuel. So really cool. You'll know if something's up on the bike, but tire pressure is the absolute best way to extend your tire life, to keep your tires going strong. I can't tell you how many times bikes come in the dealership like, my tire lasted 700 miles, and it's like completely dead flat. Like, bro, you got to check your tire pressure. So your current bike does not have RDRS, does it?
Does not.
Okay. So I'll touch on that just real quick. I could bore you forever with specs and stuff, but it's got a rain mode. It's got a traction control. The traction control, if you're trying to do a sick burnout, it won't let you. Now you can turn it off, so if you want to do some burnouts, you can. But it's really great, and if you're hit something slick, if something goes on, some black ice, we've got all this craziness going on, it's going to keep your back tire from slipping. And then the other thing it's got is a hill assist. So if you and Steph and you guys are loaded up and you're in the middle of nowhere, it's got a hill assist. So you'll hold it either the front or the rear brake for about 2 or 3 seconds, and it'll hold the bike. And then as you get going to take off on a hill, it'll let you take off on a hill. So the hill assist is awesome. You can just hold the brake, it holds the bike, and now you're not doing that funky dance trying to take off on the hill. It's awesome, man.
And I mean, I know a lot of people are like, oh my God, you don't need all that shit. But let me tell you something.
San Francisco. We needed that.
Ride that damn place. You think you're macho, don't you? Oh, I know. I've rode San Francisco. I've done this. I've done that. Let me ask you though. Have you rode 800-900 miles? You're absolutely wore out, and you come up to a hill like San Francisco. You're totally loaded down. You're looking for a place to eat. You've got to go pee. Heavens forbids if you got to do something else. You're sneezing. You're both in a bad mood. You got to go live here in about an hour. You got all this shit on your mind. Trust me, everything you can get to help you, you need. You need every edge you can get. I promise. I'm just totally over the ego stuff. If it can help me out, dude, I'm all about it at this point. So,
and the cool part is that the system's not invasive, and the cornering ABS is huge. If you watch these videos on Harley's website of a regular ABS and the new Reflex ABS, when you're in a corner, the regular ABS, dude, you're off, man. This cornering ABS, it adjusts the traction between the front and the rear wheel as you're going in the corner to help you maintain traction in a corner while you're braking. It's incredible, dude. You're going to love it.
Teamed up with Legend Suspension. Can you imagine
that? I love Legends, man.
I do too, man. So that system is on all the new bikes now? All the 20?
So it is. Okay, so here, getting a little bit of, I don't want to rant, but it's an option. Most of the new bikes are going to have it, especially touring bikes. It's an option on all the bikes we talked about. Obviously, on stuff like CVOs, it's not an option. It comes with it. The specials and the limiteds, it's supposed to be an option. Here's the deal. It's primarily going to probably come with it unless we seek one without it. What happened last year with the supply chain shortage and all this craziness going on, a lot of the bikes did not have it. So I do have some 21s left on the floor that don't have RDRS. And don't let it make or break, from getting a bike for anybody. But if you can get it, it's really nice to have. I think going forward, it's going to be pretty much standard equipment. So most bikes are going to have it.
So with saying that, the twin cam that we had did not have ABS. Okay. So it didn't even have
Bro.
That. So, and then I ride that chopper, which I'm just happy. Thank God Larry helped me over there this last spring and we got my brakes worked out.
That bike is the opposite of ABS.
Gee, yeah, it's like pussy. It's just, and that's what we grew up with, and that's what we got in our head. I'm like, oh, don't be that way. Oh my God, but it's totally different when stepping out there running across the country. And bless every one of y'all that are. And I know some boys out there running the country with them old choppers. But I'll tell you what, them guys have got a couple screws missing. I love them to death. But we know old boy Dan, that dude is crazy as hell, and he rides. It don't matter. But at the end of the day, it's what we want, and I'm super interested in that option. I'm glad we talked about that, Casey.
Yeah, RDRS is rad, man. That's just kind of one of those things that I think going forward is going to be a pretty standard option. I did see like maybe a year or two ago that Harley has a patent for adaptive cruise control, like a lot of new cars have. So I don't know when or how or who knows, but they do have a patent for it. Who knows, man? Cool shit. They're always working on cool shit, man. They don't make them worse every year.
Yeah, and in months ahead, we've got a lot of changing coming for Harley-Davidson. I see a lot of stuff that's going to be, you know what I mean. It's just the thing. They're going to a lot of changes. I'm sure it's coming, and I'm excited to see what they're doing. I think they answered the call to a lot of bikes this year. They're starting to listen to us. It's about damn time. But they are, and they're working hard. And I'm proud. I'm proud as anything to be teamed up with you guys over there at Pig Trail Harley-Davidson and riding at Harley-Davidson. Casey, in closing, we'll be over there next week.
We got Saturday, February 12th.
Yeah, and we got a lot of talking to be doing because we've got to get this build on the way. We are doing the Big Boar build. We'll be doing this series here on YouTube. For all you guys that are watching, this is Casey, Steph, and I just doing bike talk, talking about the ins and outs of our mind and our thoughts on these bikes. This is not set in stone, our opinion. By no means does it weigh anything on anything, but just us talking bullshit here. So, like I said, we've got a lot of talking to do. We've got to make some decisions. We'll be leaving, like I said, in 3 weeks for a kickoff run when we get back. So March, I think Steph and I are really going to look for a place to stay over there in Rogers so we can be there for a month or so where I'm just there every day to be able to capture every bit of content that goes on with the bike that we do get from y'all. So
you're gonna be there every day hanging out, bro?
I'm gonna be a nuisance every time I walk in there. I'm like, God, man, can we hurry up?
Oh shit, TJ's here, man. I gotta go, man.
Larry,
I'm not feeling so good, man.
Larry back there is gonna be like, God, I gotta get this out of here. He's driving me nuts. I mean, I filmed the dude going into the bathroom. I mean, he's like, get out of here, man. But once again, we're so excited for Pig Trail Harley-Davidson and the crew over there for letting Steph and I come in there and take over everything. We totally get in everybody's way, and I know we're annoying as hell, but nobody lets on. So I think everybody just half-ass as crazy as we are in a good way.
So, TJ, are you guys going to be there? So that's a week from tomorrow at the dealership. It's the 2022 reveal party. Are you guys going to be there?
Yes. Yeah, we were.
Sweet. Hell yeah, man.
We were going to be there tomorrow, but, with the weather, of course. Yeah, so we'll be going live next Friday night at 7 o'clock. I'm pretty damn sure, Casey, that we're going to be talking about what bike we're getting. So between now and then, Steph and I and you, of course, and the whole crew over there, we're going to be talking about what we're going to get. Then we're going to start getting busy on the upgrades that we're going to be doing. Of course, again, with all of our fine sponsors, we're going to have the Mac Daddy of bikes, in my opinion.
Hell yeah. I'm stoked, man. Hey, real quick, in the comments, I see Mike Moore has a really cool question. He's asking, would Casey know if there's a way to put Google Maps on a bike instead of Harley Maps? Mike, let me tell you something, man. This is something that, TJ, real quick, man, are you an iPhone guy or an Android guy?
I am iPhone, man.
I'm iPhone too.
Yep.
So this would answer Mike's question. So a bike that's 2019 and newer, if it has the new GTS radio screen, is going to have either Apple CarPlay or Android Auto. And if you get that working, then you can use Google Maps on the screen instead of the Harley Maps. The Harley Maps maybe aren't the best, but and that's a big advantage. So let's talk about this real quick too. Now we're getting into some more stuff. Road Glide Special versus Road Glide Limited. On a Limited, you can plug in a headset and you can talk to Siri and do all that crazy stuff. On a Special, there's no headset plug. So you have to get what they call a WIN, which is a wireless interface thing. And you can basically talk from a Cena to your bike on a Special. So that's another investment. So, man, if you're looking at a Special and you're going to be adding a tour pack and a WIM and a lowers and you know what I mean? A Limited may be really the way to go, bro. So you can plug in, you could get another headset, and then Steph could plug in the back, and then she could be like, "Hey, slow down, dumbass! I gotta pee.
Yeah.
What are you doing?" So she could, instead of slapping you and trying to yell at you, she could plug in. Y'all could chat at each other. So that's a big difference on a limited too. But yeah, to answer Mike's question, any bike with the new GTS radio, you could do the Android Auto or the Apple CarPlay.
And if not, you get the WIM installed, which we did run the WIM at the beginning when we got this bike. And I'll be honest with you guys, it may be just who I am. It may be because I'm older. I don't know what it is, but I honestly still use my phone. I am so used to it being up there, and I need to use that display. I need to teach myself to do it. But my phone.
So when we get you set up on a new bike, man, it's going to be like your phone's in the screen. You know what I mean? When you get that Apple CarPlay going, I mean, it's going to be sick, dude, because you're not going to have to worry about all that. And then you can actually navigate the screen with the little thumbsticks, on the controls. And it'll be just like your phone's in the screen. So it should be a lot better for you, man.
The biggest thing that annoys me, say if I have a radio station coming up and I hit a button, it goes to the radio station. I actually want it on the screen. It tells me how fast I'm going, the speed. And I cannot get it to go back without reaching up there and hitting the screen and tapping it. I haven't figured out yet how to do it on my controls, how to make it go back to the speedometer, not what's on my radio. So it tells me.
We can do that.
I can?
Yep, it's easy. I'll help you out with it, bro. I'm looking forward to it.
Okay, all right, prime example right there, the Big Boar build series here on YouTube that we'll be doing. There's a lot of shit that this old boy is going to learn right in front of you. So I do want to make this very clear. If you are an ornery ass or you're watching the ornery one, there is no stupid questions. Do not be afraid to comment or reach out to one of us, because if I don't know it, if Casey don't know it, if Larry don't know it, if Matt don't know it, we're going to keep going until we find that person that knows that question. If it has to do with one of our sponsors, we have personal reps that we talk to. For example, Mustang Seats. If you're looking for a seat, you got any questions, I will have you send me your information. I'll have my personal rep contact you. She'll call you. Ronnie will talk everything over to you about the seats and help you decide. So we're here as information. And it's cool because I'm learning. And you guys can learn with us, and just stay tuned because it's going to be a hell of a deal. We're going to be talking a lot about safety too. Real quickly, the sponsors for the bike build that we're doing, the Big Boar build, the official sponsors for the build is Pig Trail Harley-Davidson, Custom Dynamics, and Rainwater Holton Saxton. Where we're going to be talking about safety. We're going to be talking about mods. We're just going to be talking what we think is cool, and maybe some things that we'd like to change later. Who knows? But it's going to be a progression of building this whatever bike we get. Casey, I'm excited.
I'm excited.
I'm beyond excited, bro. I can't wait. And you know what? I think it's going to be really cool to do this big 131 because you're not going to have to sacrifice performance for comfort. I mean, it's going to be really nice to be able to just haul ass and then turn around and just be comfortable and go put mad miles down. I mean, you guys are going to have a great year. So really looking forward to working with you and hanging out and just doing some fun shit, man.
We are too. Casey, thank you once again for taking the time out of your life with all your family. We want to say thank you to your family for letting us have you for this time.
2 weeks in a row.
I know it's
Hey, I was getting cabin fever. I took him to the grandparents' house, man. I started to feel like I was in The Shining, bro. It was crazy.
Ooh, yeah. They
were driving me crazy.
We've raised 5 of them Rugrats. We know how it is. So definitely, once again, Casey, thanks for coming on and sharing your knowledge. We look forward to what's fixing to play out there at Pig Trail Harley-Davidson. So we'll let you go and spend time with your family, dude.
Right on, brother. Love you guys. Have fun. We'll see you next week, man.
Love you. Talk to you later, man.
All right, buddy.
All right, guys. Wow, man. There was so much information just dropped between my 2 ears. Stuff that I hadn't even thought of. Thank you guys so much for bringing that stuff up over here in the chat. There's things that, let's see, RDRS. I got to talk about that. I'm super interested in this.
I know.
Okay. Once again, the maps. I need to do some learning on it as well. One thing I do like about my phone is Steph will change our direction within seconds. Let's go eat here. Let's go to this city. So this city, we found this strip club. Let's go to this strip club. And she will just drop it to me, and we change so much. So There's some learning that I need to do. I need to open up my mind. You want to catch up anything over there in the comments there, Mama?
Yeah, we're just all talking about different, you know, however you want your bike to end up in the end, how much personalization, how many mods you want to do, how many upgrades you want to do, how much money you want to spend. We do a lot of things that will help save money and kind of live on a budget. And then sometimes we learn the hard way that certain ways about it didn't actually work out in the end, even though it saved us money. And
It didn't.
we skipped on some quality stuff there at the beginning a couple years ago of this Road Glide, and it did cost us because we ended up having to change out a whole nother
So with saying that
part of
though,
our motorcycle.
our riding style changed.
Yes.
So with the progression of the Ornery one, things kept progressing. We kept going farther and faster and heavy and did more and more and more. I think at the beginning we weren't seeing the big picture, and now we plan for a big picture.
Yeah.
Which, guys, thank you guys for saying that so much, all you ornery asses out there. Everybody that has tuned in and chimed in tonight, we really do appreciate it. Please, 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 please keep tuning in, because it's going to do nothing but get more exciting. And if it's not about the Big Boar, then Steph and I will be on the road to a rally or to somewhere cool. We'll be traveling. So this whole year, it's either going to be about that Big Boar build, or it's going to be about where we're going. Like I said, in 3 weeks, we'll be doing a kickoff run. You guys can go see our full 22 riding schedule on the ornery1.com. As well, on there, you can see our merch, shirts, stickers. We're working on some new things, too. We'll be coming up and coming out. We just sent off the design for T-shirts for the Big Boar build. We'll be offering those as well to the members. We're going to do those shirts to you if you'd like them at cost. If you guys aren't a member and you'd like to, we'd like for you to come on to be an ornery ass, because you make our ass grow bigger, and we like a big old juicy ass here at the ornery one. We get a big kick out of that. As you guys can tell, my mind is locked and loaded, and I got pinpoint focus on what's fixing to happen. So there's a lot going on. As well, we want to thank all of our fine sponsors out there. Thank you so much. They're all being brought up right here. That's why I don't shave, because I do opposite.
Yeah, it's like looking in the mirror. Turned around.
It is. I was just waiting for you to talk a little bit. I'm about talked out.
No, I'm enjoying it.
Oh, I bet you are.
I'm just over here, changing the layout and chatting. So I'm enjoying it. It's like a day off.
As you can see, we're trying to do a different layout here and stuff, guys. All you ornery asses, if there is something that you'd like for us to change on this, let us know, because we're working on it. Trying to just make it a little neater, make sure we cover everything we need to. One thing we notice on live feeds and what we use, a lot of it's to do with gaming. And the layout's kind of odd. So all this stuff that she's doing is she's actually building it. So
yeah, for a little tech talk here. Someone had actually asked earlier, Heritage Cowboy, what program I use for editing. So for editing, it's something, kind of completely different as far as the layout for streaming. And like you said, a lot of the streaming overlays are geared towards gaming. And, well, on this channel, we don't do any gaming. So it's hard to find a pre-made layout or theme that already kind of matched our style. So I kind of had to build one from the ground up. And so, yeah, it has changed from last week, and it may change up a little bit more in the next coming weeks, but we'll eventually get it. Probably towards the end of the big build, we'll have it nailed down. But
which, speaking of that, with the Big Boar build, we're going to do a different entry. So the beginning of our video, we have our little entry that comes on. We're going to have its own. So we're really working hard and trying to make this special. Like I was saying, if you guys just hang in there with us, you can see what we're up to. Any post or anything that we put out there you guys would like to share, that we'd totally love that, because that helps us get out there to all your great followers as well. One other thing I did want to put out there, there is a TikTok contest going on with the Buffalo Chip. Best party anywhere. We made a TikTok with that. You can go check that out on our TikTok. We can tell you a little bit more about it right here. All you have to do is upload a TikTok video, short as you want, long as you want, whatever, of how you party, and hashtag and mention the Buffalo Chip. Best party anywhere in the Buffalo Chip. And you could win 2 tickets to the Buffalo Chip, Darren Sturgis, and a VIP upgrade, which is really pretty cool, right?
Yeah, it is cool. And we are 2 judges on there.
We're
So I don't
official
know
judges.
exactly how many official judges they have for their TikTok contest, but we are 2 of them. So that's really exciting. It's on TikTok under Sturgis Buffalo Chip. They're the one that's doing the giveaway, obviously, in the contest. So whenever you post your video, be sure you tag them. It doesn't hurt to tag us also, but be
Please,
sure that you
for
do
sure.
tag Sturgis Buffalo Chip and Sturgis Rally SD for South Dakota, if y'all don't know that.
It was pretty cool. Woody came on, did a little entry for us, and then we had Dave come on and Bam Bam come on. Yeah, they're got a big TikTok following, so it was kind of a joint fun thing. I reached out to them, and we'll have a couple more TikToks of our own, just us, coming up pretty quick because we want to do right by the Buffalo Chip. We'll be up there too during the Women's Day at the Chip. Steph will be doing her 2-up bike show entry that you can enter your 2-up bike and win something. Had a great turnout last year, and Steph built that really cool Spoonster trophy.
Yes. So
cool.
talking about things that are fast approaching is, of course, Daytona Bike Week. We've had some people already ask us if we're going to be down there. So yes, we will be there in Daytona for Daytona Bike Week. The exact dates I'm not exactly for sure, but the members, you do have a tab at the website, www.thehonorone.com. It is password protected, so the HonorAss members, you guys can go in there, put in the little password, and see our riding schedule, a little bit more details. I have a little bit more dates on y'all's calendar as far as whereabouts and what's happening during rallies and events and all throughout the year. I know that they've got the Flying Piston Banquet going on during Daytona Bike Week, of course. Yes, and Willie's Tropical Tattoo Bike Show, or their Chopper Show. A couple other things that's going to be happening throughout the week, too, that I will be posting as it gets closer, of course. But that's like the main things that's coming up right away. And then, of course, as soon as we get back from Daytona Bike Week, we're going to be hammering down hard on the Big Boar build, actually doing the mods and upgrades
to it.
Stuff.
Yep. So in Daytona, we'll be at all of our sponsors. So Custom Dynamics, Rick Rack, I think Fair and Exchange. I need to touch it and see if Legends is going to be there. I'm sure, and then of course Chromeworks. I need to. We'll be able to tell you more once we see who our sponsors are going to be there. We're always at their tent hanging out, so you can always find us, and we'll tell you where we're at. So if you need to look at a Mustang seat and you want to see us, I'll tell you when we're going to be at the Mustang seat tent. You can come by and see us and talk about Mustang seats. Seems like Custom Dynamics. We'll have our bike there. You guys can come see our bike lit up, and we can talk about what we like, what our favorites are. And because a lot of us, we're building a piece at a time to our bike. So you may want those front windshield lights, or you may want the latch lights. You may want both. You may have to pick. We know how it is, so we can let you see and talk to you about what we like.
Yes.
So
before anything else, I just want to say, Dave and Keith, welcome, guys. You guys both said that this was your first live stream type thing watching, so I appreciate you guys joining in. This is something we do every Friday night. Now, there are some Friday nights that we have skipped just here and there, but for the most part, we are here every Friday night, 7 p.m. Central, and that's whether if we're at home here or if we're out on the road. So we try to go, live where we're at, and it's usually 7 p.m. wherever we're at also. So we do live in Central Time Zone, and so when we're home, it's 7 p.m. Central. But if we're on the East Coast or West Coast, you get the drift.
that's right, guys. And one thing good about this, too, if you guys are tuned in here and chimed in, you see all the little badges up there with the beards. That's HonorAss member. They've been with us. A lot of these folks have been with us for years now. Crazy. If you have any question, you can reach out to them. Their bike knowledge is wealthy. and a lot of them have been all over the place. So there's an ornery ass community basically, and you can reach out to people and they help each other out. We have some crazy stories of our ornery asses helping each other out. And there again, we've done multiple pay it forwards. We'll be doing one soon. We were working on one earlier this year. I kind of want to touch base on that, but it kind of fell out due to COVID and some other stuff that happened. Makes it a little harder right now to do one, but we always give back and we're always paying it forward. If anything, it's with hugs and just supporting each other. But one thing I want to make it very clear on this channel: we put up with no bullshit. No negativity is allowed. If you don't like, just don't watch. And if you do, let us know. Give us a thumbs up. Go follow us on all of our social media platforms. And if you would like, you can share a post, which helps us get out there.
Yeah. Okay, I think that we've covered a lot tonight. We've talked about all kinds of different bikes and the perks and the cons and the pros and all that. And exactly which bike we're going to go with.
I don't know yet. It's going to be exciting. We should know next weekend. By next weekend, we'll be with our Pig Trail Harley-Davidson. If you're in this neck of the woods, come and see the reveal party. It's super fun. They'll have food, drinks, beverages. It's a damn party, man.
Food, drinks, and beverages.
Well,
I
just
love it.
adult beverages. How about that? Code snacks for us. You know what I'm saying.
Yes.
All right, guys. Once again, we sure do appreciate you guys tuning in and chiming in. Keep up with us this week. We'll be posting more and more. And until we see you next week, y'all stay ornery.
Okay, let's see if I can do this part right.
I'm hungry.